This meeting is being recorded.
Nakubali ama bado na
join. Unataka nikulitie hiyo? Please depend instructions hiyo
ni tutaelekea hii 20th na 30th. Kusema una kama ilitoa hii then you do that na attach.
Instructions hiyo. Ndio kufanya kazi.
Hii 20th, 20th.
So hiyo nitaiweka wapi?
Hii itaweka kwa hii nitatoa bili uweke moja kwa hii na kwa hiyo ingine.
Ole. Hiyo ingine kwa.
So hii tunazo. Kuna barua iko hapo nyuma. Sasa umeweka ya juu. Tutoa hii. Hii.
Nienda wapi?
Yake itakuja kwa hii. I understand your worry and your concerns. Hata tumemaliza. Kede kekuda. Dakika sijamaliza dry calcified documented your water please hydrate. Dekagore. Yeah. Rosio. Can I go with that? Rosio. Mami dira I can go there. You can be able.
Hello everyone, I hope you can hear me all. Kindly, if you can hear me, just chat on the chat box. Kindly. Hello Jackson, are you able to hear me? Okay, thank you. So we are waiting for others to join. Kindly be patient. We start exactly at uh, 10 minutes. In the next 10 minutes, we'll be able to start. So kindly invite all your friends to come over. Then now we begin at the same time. Thank you.
I went through my
Hello guys. I hope you are doing all good. Welcome those who have joined right now. We are going to start in the next 7 minutes. Please, could you please invite your friend to come over? Today we have a very exciting topic, and I hope we are going to get more information or get more richer from the speaker of today. So kindly in the next 6 minutes, please invite your friend to come and share with us. So we are going to begin officially. Yeah, I hope most of you are excited. for today's meeting.
What time is the meeting starting? Kindly someone.
Oh, sorry, I was on mute. We are starting right now. Is it Rogers? Okay. Let us. Thank you, everyone, for joining, and welcome once again again for this beautiful session of today. We have a very nice topic today. We are going to get more information about the design thinking, and also on how someone can get more information about the ideation, like the if you have a startup, what is the required steps you really Sorry, I'm very sorry. I had a network issue, and we are in the stage of introducing ourselves. I had already introduced myself. Can you hear me, please? Hello? Can someone hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, but you're not that clear.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Kelvin. Um, yeah, later on, I was experiencing some network challenges, but right now, I believe they are solved. I'm very sorry for that. Thank you, Judith, for the reply. Okay, thank you. So I want to invite the speaker of today, or who is Calvin, to is one of the chief executive officer of and the founder of Ascent Africa. Is going to speak to us concerning the process of design thinking and ideation. So without so many
Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me?
I think we are behind time. Let us welcome Calvin to talk to us. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
Can you guys hear me?
yes, please continue. Yeah, we can hear you.
Can you be able to see my screen as well?
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
You can see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so thank you very much for the introduction, and thanks so much for this particular time. And yeah, I'll just, today I was asked to pretty much speak about design thinking and the different aspect. And I just thought, let me just prepare something small to be able to share with you guys. And probably if you have any questions that we can be able to look at it later. So I'll just talk about understanding the business ideation techniques and kind of design thinking, which is ideation and design thinking is almost like the same thing. So we all always think of probably building something. You think of starting either a business, you think of starting maybe a service, and whatever thing that you're passionate about starting. Probably it can be a non-profit organization, it can be profit making like business. So we all think of starting like different things, but then I think the first thing that I always ask myself is, what's your passion? And in passion, if you want to do it, probably anything, definitely is always driven by passion, and then passion cut across everything. You have to have passion pretty much to everything, even when it comes to like even really. So we all always think of just things starting it life, and whatever thing that they always have to be that passion. We all have ideas. You want to start off. You want to get into so many things that you probably would wish to build. But then you ask yourself, like, what's the step? Like, what's the step forward? So we're just going to look at ideation techniques. Uh, and so basically, what's ideation technique? Ideation technique is simply the process of generating ideas and solution. Okay. It's also kind of the heart of design thinking. So pretty much when you're coming up with an idea, ideation is creating thoughts mixed with passion. Something I want to get into agribusiness, for example, and I want to maybe work on a quick way to be able to deliver for maybe bananas to the mbogas or who have kiosks and all that kind of stuff. You're going to sit down and look at what kind of service do you want, what kind of channels, what kind of transportation, and probably then how are you going to make money, and also how are you going to create an impact. So basically that's what ideation drives us to. So when it comes to design thinking, we always look at we always look at a few areas, and so one is discovery, empathy. So discovery and empathy is basically understand the human needs involved. So first of all, you always have to understand the human need involved. Like when you're thinking of any kind of business, if today I want to think of starting maybe when a salon, for example, somewhere in the village, where we don't even have a saloon, or maybe somewhere in the center where we have a saloon, but the saloon do maybe something a bit fancy that would actually attract different people, and probably ideas just because the ideas don't exist, or they like better brands, and so that's the reason a lot of we have a lot of people who even stay in Bungoma, but actually they can actually be able to afford middle income in that area. And so the interpretation defined. So basically this problem in human-centric ways. So like what is affecting human, just as a saloon or kinyozi, because you understand that people really need a good environment where when they sit at that kinyozi or something like that. Yeah, and so get into agribusiness, you're thinking of like tomatoes is going to help with this, and you're trying to find those stuff. Okay. So number 3 is ideas, and is an ideation process. So that brainstorming on as many ideas as possible, as many thoughts as possible. And then the 4th one is experimental or prototypes. So especially when you build, like when you're working on places that need prototype. Like for example, if you're going to do a service, if it's for example kinyozi, you might not need a prototype. You might just go ahead and put that kind of experience, and probably here your prototype might be like just one service, like let's say you have a nice fancy kinyozi, and then you just put like the normal your normal kinyozi, and then you maybe next time introduce so once somebody is then they can get a massage, and then maybe another time you now introduce body massage and all that. So those are actually going to act like prototype, because you're going to, shaving, but then you're going to try other products on the service, and there's the evolution test. This, I think I've been able to explain that. So motive here, simply, if you remember when we were discussing here, we talked about understanding the idea, okay, and then we also now talked about reframing and defining the problem in human-centric. So human-centric actually is the motive, like what's your human-centric on that. So that's like the motive of that. And then you can probably, so you can briefly write about the process. The process is like, how you're planning to implement it, So maybe if you can write that on the chart, I think it would be nice to probably read a few of your ideas and motive. And yeah, you can even just stop at idea and your motive. Before even going into the implementation aspect as well. So when you look at that idea and motive, and you have to ask yourself, like, you have to go through a few things. So number one is emphasize. How do I approach the challenge? So you ask yourself, how am I going to approach this challenge? Interpret my findings. Once you do you do your ideas and all that, and then now you have to ask yourself, how do I interpret this? Because you see, for coming up with ideas in business, there's a lot of things involved. So it's not only just coming up with that idea, but you also ask to look at what are some of the risks, who are some of your competitors and all those kind of stuff as well, and probably how are you planning to implement it? What kind of time frames are you giving to yourself in terms of either, what's your feel for the first year, second year, third year, and all those kind of stuff. So yeah, so basically you have to put that in practice as well. And then after that is what we call ideate. So what do we create? You have to ask yourself, what do I want to create? And just as I said previously, in this aspect, I want to create a kinyozi, and when I want to create a kinyozi, what kind of other things am I going to, am I planning to actually put in them? And then the last one is prototype. How do I build my idea? So prototype is like, okay, what service do I start with first? And then the last one is, how do I test? You proof test the idea. So proof test here simply means like, oh, I've set the kinyozi, I've made sure that I can have 1 or 2 customers. Then basically that's what, so basically, how do you use design thinking? Because we have to really think through, like, how do you use design thinking? So number one, phase, and some of the things that we're going to talk here are things that I've also mentioned as well. This is, so discovery phase, this is used for research, the topic, figure out what you know and what you don't know about a particular product, okay? And that's more like the research stage. And then after research, it's time to synthesize this into, so the interpretation pretty much, how do you interpret? What are the takeaways? What are the problems and all that? And then after that is the ideation stage. Use this phase to go very wide and encourage students to write down all ideas of what they will make to solve this particular problem. So you have to work with as many ideas as possible, So I personally have started pretty much maybe a few companies or a few products. Some definitely died. Some are still there. Some I've built some over like a few years and all that. And this is the same process that I always go through. Like, I always have to invest in the research, and when it comes to business, I think I always, I always tell people that the most important thing is that you have to see the business. You have to see the end of the thing from beginning, meaning that you have to see the end of your business from the beginning, meaning from the stage where you're starting doing your research. From there, you should actually be able to see who is going to be your end customer and how are you planning to be able to get that customer on board. And I think the last one is, as I think we also explained there, is the evolution. So the thing that nobody has time for in school. So basically, how do you go ahead and implement that? So I mean, let's just ask yourself, like, where, because maybe you can ask yourself, like, oh, so where am I going to get ideas? I'm blank. I don't even have any ideas, something like that. So just as we said previously, passion is key. What are you passionate about? Like people are always passionate about different things, you know, and in this world, you can, as long as you're passionate about something, you can actually it can make you a millionaire. It can even make you a billionaire. Even if you're passionate of just collecting stones, you know, like you go around different places collecting stones, you can gather stones that you can actually probably sell them to maybe architectural design. So people are building particular buildings and all this kind of stuff, and you're going to make a lot of money. So what's your passion? What's your dream? What's your ambition? To ourselves, all those questions. And just as I said, everybody, each and every one of us has, you know, the passion. We have our dreams. We have our ambition. Like it doesn't matter who you are. You always have that kind of something that drives you, and or maybe just something like, hey, you know, in future I'd like to start ABCD. In future I'd like to get into agriculture. In future I want to start maybe a tech company. In future I want to start maybe a manufacturing company. Maybe I want to manufacture tea. I want to manufacture flour and all this kind of stuff. So yeah, so basically all that. So another thing is importing ideas from other countries and travel. So I mean, for those who travel probably, and even not even in our countries, it can even be in Kenya. You can go to, maybe you're based in Nairobi, you can go to Kisumu and find something interesting that is not done in Nairobi. So you actually transport that idea to be done there. You can go to maybe Mombasa and then go to Nandi and you find, oh, this thing is not done in Nandi. So let me start this ABCD here. So that's also another way and another easy way. And even especially for those who travel abroad, you'd always see a lot of things that is done in other countries that you can literally bring the same way into this country and actually you make money. Yeah. Also another thing is through media channels. I'm sure most of you watch TV or you read newspapers or magazines and you get ideas from there as well. Some of them are also books. Entrepreneurs who read books can actually have ideas on that. And I think I've always got ideas also from books and all that. And also attending hackathons and design thinking workshops. I mean, there's so many organizations that actually usually run like hackathon where you are put into groups. As a group, you come up with ideas and all those kind of stuff. So those things actually can give you ideas on that, and definitely also things like research, and then also attending things like conference, workshop, exhibitions. Like, you know, for us, we do host this conference every year called Ascenti. So, you know, when you're attend such kind of conferences, they can also add value as well. So mostly is to identify business ideas. Mostly is talent. Someone who's good at cooking can start an hotel and all this kind of stuff, you know. Actually use your talent to actually be able to build businesses. Also listening to people asking questions, you know, grab a friend for a cup of coffee. We develop ideas, is idea identification. I think I've talked about that. So identify favorable idea in order to run specific business, something that will give you return. And then idea visibility analysis, this future prediction on the earning. You have to really look at, will that thing generate money? And then I think opportunity selection as well. Ways to develop ideas, I think I've talked about that. You know, you have to develop a business plan. So basically, after you've done your research, ABCD, you have to do that. And then resources acquisition. So maybe you have to look for raw materials if you're probably doing a physical thing. And then business startup, and then growth and development and all that. Yeah, I think this is also another exercise that I actually give people to kind of think through. And you can, since you guys are few, you can just think through.
Edu. Good night, Edu. Bye. I love you. Kama toniengedi. Wala busanije n'akaviiri mwanyuma.
On create the ideas that will turn into like what kind of ideas would you want? I think way forward is you got to building yourself. And sorry, can you mute? Yeah, so I think the best thing is you know, basically create a name. So mention is that a business brand can own, they don't really have any business, you know, has as a brand, you know. And most of the time brand themselves as a brand, but they actually have their own brand things. Like I think most of you have heard that Mainak again even has insured his own voice. You know that if he lost his own voice today, he's actually going to get a compensation from that, because basically that the voice is brand. Okay, so you need to create a name about yourself, create content, create maybe social media, websites, and all those kind of stuff. So I think we're pretty much done. In case you guys have a question that you'd like to ask, yeah. Yeah. Is everything okay? Okay, so maybe I can just read some of your comments. Okay, so was that okay? I just want to ask if that was okay. Do you guys have any questions before I get going home?
Maybe I'll have one question for you. Hello.
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead.
I want to appreciate the discussion of today, especially in design thinking on your idea. And we as students, we may find challenging. Some of us, or most of us, have very nice ideas, but the limitation which we get when we are implementing our ideas is in terms of funding, and most of the ideas need huge funds. So, as an expert in that field, how do you advise us? What do you think would be the best steps for us to do?
Yeah, I think so. I think number one, I mean, you literally don't need. I mean, if you have an idea, number one, I don't think you really need a very big idea that will need you to probably have like raise a lot of capital if you know you really have access to that capital. I mean, every business always grow. Like, you know, if we hear, I mean, we've all had stories of like even Safaricom or even like EBT Bank that started like a small company, and even all of you guys probably even have friends or have family or even have uncles that started their companies that are very small, but they continue growing. So I think if you have an idea, I think just look at it, you know, get to look at it like, you know, how is it going to be in future in terms of projections, in terms of, you know, the idea being big, and then you can just start small. For me, I don't think that, you know, finances should actually limit you from starting your own idea. You know, finances should be the last. And there's, especially if you're starting a service idea, for example, you don't really need money to invest in a service idea. You know, if you're starting consultancy, for example, you want to consult on, you know, on maybe agribusiness, help farmers, design, help farmers like, come up with new products and all that, and basically even help farmers access things like micro loans and all those kind of stuff. You might actually not need money to start that. So especially service ideas, you don't really need any capital for you to start a service idea. Sometimes you need maybe capital to start ideas that need money. Like, for example, if you want to set up a hotel, you definitely need money. If you want to get into car rental business, you need money to buy a car, and you need all those other things. But then what you can do is that you can start with the things that you don't really need money, or you don't need huge capital, and then after that you can actually venture, the money that you make from maybe service, then you can actually venture that money into now the physical product, the goods and services, or the goods that you actually want to venture in. Yeah, I hope that was helpful.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. I never thought you can start your business, for example, the service business without money. And I've been thinking a lot about that. Thank you.
Okay, no problem. Thanks. Anybody else who has another question? Anybody else who has a question? Okay, thank you guys. I think it was nice being part of this, and just wanted to say thank you, and I appreciate for the opportunity to talk to you guys. In case you'd like to reach out to me, I think I'll just drop my email here, plus my phone number, and we also have a business kind of breakfast coming up in Nairobi for those who are based in Nairobi. We have a breakfast meeting that's going to be at Sarova Stanley Hotel on the 18th of March, and the breakfast. You have my email there, you have my phone number. You can send me a message on WhatsApp, and we'll be glad to engage as well. Okay. Anything else? Okay, so I think I'll give you guys back the program to the team. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Calvin. And we want to appreciate the speaker today for the nice message he has given us. And with that, I want to have a very simple token here, and I like to give it someone, but in a very simple condition. I have some airtime here, and I like someone to just give an overview of what the speaker has told us today. Just to give a brief information of what we have heard. I invite anyone. Yeah, there's a nice credit here.
Hello, I'm Mary. Hello everyone. Here it's Mary. Okay, we have talked. Mr. Calvin Jodisi has talked to us many things. What I have generalized or I have summarized in today's talk It's about formation of ideas, how you can come with ideas, mostly based on your passion, your dreams, your ambition. Even you can come with your ideas through importing ideas from other countries or from other counties or from any region. You can also come up with ideas through the media channels, maybe the TV programs, the radio programs. You can also, he said that you can also come with ideas in other ways like leading, researching, and also through your talent and passion being a key passion being one of the key things you consider when coming up with your ideas. What do you want or what do you feel good when doing it? Then he talked about the idea visibility, how you see that idea. He also talked about the opportunity development, how you be able also to maneuver in the problems. When you form an idea, you also think about the things you should consider, maybe the challenges that will come to the future, how you'll maneuver them and how you'll solve them. And also he talked about the discovering empathy, where he said that in ideation, you have to consider the human needs, where he said that in every idea you come with, you have to make sure that it is aligned with human needs and it does not exploit any light of a human being. He also talk about the motives, the human setting to something, the process, he also emphasized how to approach challenges in forming your ideas, and also about the phototype. How do you learn your ideas? And also, or like in finalizing, I can say that he also talked about the design thinking, where he figured out maybe how in design thinking, where he said that maybe you can interpret the problem, the ideas, maybe you can write down or jot down your ideas. You look at you have alternative ideas. Don't just have one idea, have alternative ideas where you can just look at them and then decide the best alternatives. And also he talked about the devolution. And also I can say that he started by saying idea is creating dots or solutions. Basically, that's all what the Mr. Jodisi said. Yeah, thank you.
Wow. I think this is the best student ever. And I don't know, Mr. Calvin can attest to that. Is it? Calvin, are you there?
Yes. Sorry, what's up?
I
I
think
missed that part.
I think we have the best student here, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think
It-
she gave that was a good summary.
yeah. So I don't know. Is there someone who has another thing to add before we say?
Yes, I can just summarize what Mary has just told us about all the ideas. In general, the speaker told us we don't have to have a lot of capital to start any business or if you are an entrepreneur, you just have to start small. That is really the major part of every business idea. Start small and you'll end up being a big company. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, everyone. And I think I'm going to share the token with both of you, both James and Mary. So kindly, I don't have the number for James. You can just write it there on the chat box. So I'm going to send you some airtime for the good work and also motivate you next time to join and also comment. With that, I believe we have gotten more enough today, and I'm looking forward. Maybe next meeting, some of us are going to share the very nice ideas on how we are going to change the world together. That I want to appreciate Mr. Calvin for taking his time and also preparing a good presentation for us, and also being on time to share with us. We really appreciate how. Thank you. I've got your number. Thank you. So with that, I don't think we have another business to do. Is just wish you all the best as you continue with what you're doing out there. It's a plus for us. It's a plus for Kenya. It's a plus for everyone. Thank you for joining, and see you next time.
Thank you too.